The checkbox is a relatively simple gadget that displays the status of a binary output or binary value and allows turning it on or off. It looks like a standard checkbox with an empty box meaning off and a box with a check mark meaning on. It has just a few settings, other than the standard background, label, and options tabs. The caption can use most of the @ codes, which are described in the help file. It has the normal font size and color settings, as well as a setting to change the color of the box and check mark. It can be aligned to the left, right, or centered horizontally within the gadget bounds. And its position within the gadget bounds can be fine-tuned. Since the checkbox is very compact, compared to many other gadgets, it can be useful when you need to fit multiple binary objects in a small space. I'll do a quick alignment to line up their left sides. And make sure they are spaced equally vertically. The LED gadget is a visual status indicator and has several modes of operation. The first is a simple on and off indicator for binary inputs, outputs, and values. The LED is lit when the property is on or active and unlit when the property is off or inactive. The second mode of operation is just the opposite. The LED will be lit when the property is off and unlit when it is on. Skipping down for the moment, the fourth mode is the dual color mode. In this mode, the LED will be lit in the on color when the property is on and lit with the off color when the property is off. Turning the lights back off should give us a yellow LED. For the remaining modes, we will need an analog property. I'll select an analog value used for testing. Make the LED a bit smaller. And switch to the third mode, which will light the LED when an analog value is out of range. We'll need to supply the low and high limits so it will know when it is out of range. I'll use 68 and 78 for this test. I also want to add @V to the label, so it will display the current value of the property. And let's move the label to the right of the LED. Finally, let's change it to a rectangle LED that flashes when out of range. The LED should be off now because the property value is between 68 and 78. Lowering the value to 55 should give us a flashing LED. The LED will also flash if the property value goes above 78. Now let's try the last mode of operation. This is a tricolor mode, where the LED will be lit in either the normal, low, or high color, depending on where the current property value falls in the specified range. In addition, since we have it set to flash, it will flash when it is lit in either the low or high colors. The LED is useful in a variety of situations and can take up very little screen space. The PointGrid gadget is used to display up to 16 properties, along with their values, engineering units, and descriptions in a grid. Just drag and drop the objects you want to add to the grid. I'll just use 4 for this demonstration. Switch back to view mode, and the grid fills in. Each property in the grid can be clicked to bring up more information about it. The user will only be able to make changes to the property if their user permissions allow it. In this case, none of these properties has engineering units or descriptions. So we can hide those columns by setting their widths to 0. Any leftover space will be split equally between the columns that are visible. Now let's go through some of the other settings. Of course, the font size and color can be changed, as can the color of the header, where the titles are displayed, and also the color of the header font. I'll just undo these changes before showing the remaining properties. I'll turn the units and description columns back off. For the next 2 settings, we'll need the point grid to be wider to make more room for the text. The Show Full Path setting will make it display the device name, object name, and property name instead of just the object name. And the Center Text setting centers the text in all columns. Now let's look at another use for the point grid that may not be immediately obvious. I'll go change all the points in the point grid to 4 different graphic displays. You could also put other items here, such as schedules, calendars, or trend logs. Now let's turn off the options we won't need and hide the value column. And notice the first column text setting. This allows changing the title of the first column to something other than property name. I'll change it to read graphic displays. Make the point grid quite a bit smaller. And now we have a convenient menu that allows quickly switching to other graphic screens. The Close Graphic setting on the Options tab can be turned on to close this graphic when a different one is selected.